Hey there, and welcome to the greatest wide open event of the year edition of Running Wide Open with Joe VanHoose. I'm Joe VanHoose, and that's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the 14th annual Powell Memorial Ocala Speedway's greatest race. It's this Friday night, starting at 8 o'clock. Qualifying will probably start at 7. That's about all I know about it. We got to bring in the extra artillery. How about track owner Mike Peters? Not only is he leading the Joe VanHoose D-List Celebrity NASCAR Challenge on JoeVanHoose.com, but he's running loose with Hoose today. All right, and we've got track owner Mike Peters here. Mike, the Powell Memorial run for the first time on dirt last year, and over 50 cars showed up. What's going to be different this year?
53 cars, Joe. I think we're going to expect more of the same. Awesome race, exciting show for the fans, and a great turnout.
Yeah. Now, let's say you haven't been to one of these. How is the format different than just a regular night of racing?
A lot of cars, lots of late models. Fans love them. We typically have to run 4 to 5 heat races. This year we'll also be qualifying at the beginning of the evening, but we qualify outside of what we call the show, the advertised show time, so it's not boring to the fans. Then we'll have up to 4 or 5 heat races, take so many cars out of each heat race, and then we'll have B mains as a last chance opportunity to get into the feature race, which will probably end up starting 26 cars.
Okay. Now who are some of the bigger names that we can expect to see this year?
They're all coming. Last year's winner, Johnny Collins, Ivan and Lloyd, who really wants to get Powell Memorial dirt win under his belt, so be looking for some stiff competition from him. Patrick Williams is another very stiff competitor on the dirt. Jason Fitzgerald, Mark Whitener. The list goes on and on. It's a list of who's who in dirt late model racing in southeastern United States. They're all going to be here this Friday night at Ocala. We're expecting over 50 late models once again. All
right. Now, it's hard to say Powell Memorial even still without bringing up James Powell and obviously the winningest Powell Memorial driver, Wayne Anderson. How about those two? Are they going to be around?
Wayne Anderson was at the race last year. I just don't think dirt's his cup of tea. I think he's too ingrained in asphalt racing, and I think the transition for him over to dirt, he found was going to be a very difficult one.
All right.
In order to start out being very competitive with the caliber of guys that raced at the Powell Memorial last year, you're racing against guys of the same caliber of Wayne Anderson, but have spent their whole lives on dirt, just like he had on asphalt.
Gotcha. What about James Powell III? He going to be around?
He's going to be there, and he's a competitive driver too. I think if he spent a little bit more time racing, I think he'd be even more competitive. But for a guy that only races once a year at the Powell Memorial, he's surprisingly fast and has surprisingly good car control.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot right here. Who's going to walk away with the big trophy on Friday night?
Well, that's a tough call. Joe, what happened when you watched the race at Dover this weekend on TV?
Jimmy Johnson won.
But what happened while you were watching the race?
The fastest car won the race, and I went to sleep.
And you went to sleep. Yeah. I can promise you and the rest of America, that's not going to happen Friday night at Ocala Speedway. There won't be any sleeping in the stands. And it's a really tough race to pick because the dirt is such a variable in how the track is every week. Our last late model race, we had a driver that hadn't raced there with us all season. In fact, since we've been to dirt, win the race against some very stiff competitors that weekend. It's a tough call. I mean, you can expect to see Johnny Collins, Fitzgerald, Whitener, Williams. You can expect to see them all at the front. If I was a betting guy, I'd probably go with Ivan and Lloyd because I know he's hungry for it. I know he is a qualified competitor or enough of a qualified driver to get his car to the front. So he'd have to be one of my top 3 favorites.
All right. Bold words from a bold man. Mike, thank you for everything you do for local racing and the Friday night Powell Memorial. Go check it out. At what time? 8 o'clock?
Racing starts at 8 o'clock. Gates open at 5.
How much to get in?
Special event ticket prices, $15 for adults, $8 for children. We got a family pack, best deal in town, 2 adults, 2 children, $35.
There it is. You can't beat it with a stick. There's a cut right there. I'm Joe VanHoose, and these are my 2 cents. You know, what a difference a couple of years make. Flashback to 2006, only 13 asphalt late models showed up to run the Powell Memorial, which was pretty disgracing to the big family name that had done so much for racing here in Ocala, and for the race as a whole, which at one point was a crown jewel of the sport. Now here we are in 2009, and over 50 cars are expected. They had 53 last year on the dirt, the first time it was ever run on dirt. And obviously that's probably what the Powells would have wanted. They owned Ocala Speedway when it was a dirt track, and they had it going on, man. Oh my goodness, did they have it going on. And now, thanks to some hard work and some reunification of late models, especially in the dirt world, it's going on again. 50 late models in these trying times, all vying for a spot in what has become a crown jewel of the sport once again. That's pretty special. Think about that. Over half the cars that show up probably won't even get into the race. That's what real competition's all about. So you'll know when the Powell Memorial takes the green flag at about 10 o'clock on Friday night. You'll be seeing the best field in possibly the entire Southeast. So maybe you owe it to yourself to go check it out. I know I'm going to be there. I cannot wait to see who's going to be the winner. And as Mike Peters said, it's hard to pick. Because of those 26 cats who will take the green flag, 26 of them could, if the situations line up perfectly, walk away with that big trophy. And that's what racing's all about. God bless it. I'm excited. I'll see you there on Friday night. If you're not there, you're lame. I'm Joe VanHoose. That's my 2 cents, and this has been Running Wide Open. We'll see you next week.